dirty, smelly, barefoot, torn clothes. His hair is unmanageable. His beard never been shaved or cut for like a year or two.
Right.
And he doesn't look right. So I just underestimated him. So I said, yes, how can I help you? And I didn't do my due diligence to evaluate right.
So you lost $27,000.
Change is inevitable. Like every success happens because you changed something and you it was a fear that was within you.
Motivation only lasts for a short amount of time, but discipline is what carries you forward.
I can't do this on my own, period.
Are you looking at your business in terms of emotion, or are you looking at your business in terms of what's practical?
I still believe that America is the best country in the world. Where can kid of immigrants with no education become a physician?
This is Small Business Celebration, where we're celebrating small businesses for big breakthroughs.
Welcome to another fantastic episode here on Small Business Celebration. We're going to be talking about things to think about when you onboard your family into your workforce. We're also going to be talking about things to think about when you acquire another retail establishment. And to guide us through all this is Sammy Solomon, the owner of OC Diamond Estate Jewelry. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
I'm glad to be here.
And for visitors who don't know who are you, and what is it that you do?
My name is Sammy Solomon, and I am the owner of OC Diamond Estate Jewelry.
You originally came from Egypt.
Yes, I did.
What brought you to the United States?
I was a computer engineer.
Yeah.
I came for training on mainframe systems, and they want me to stay as technical support back east.
Right. And this was what, in the 1970s?
In the 70s, yes.
Okay.
I came in the 70s. And I was young, but at the same time, I was working as a computer engineer in Egypt, and I have a jewelry store since I was 19.
Wow.
The store still exists over there. It's a family thing. Our family have 45 stores in one street in Egypt, in
45
our hometown,
stores?
in one family.
Wow.
We have several generations in the jewelry business. I was a baby, a kid. I'm born in my grandfather's store. In the back
Really?
room. Yeah.
Wow.
The bottom line, I was working as technical support for a while. Then I wanted to get married and moved to California. They transferred me here. I stayed with them for a long time till the Gulf War came, the first one, and they laid me off. I said, I have a contract, and said, hey, statute of limitation 5 years. Done. And I said, okay, you can't do that to me. I'll take my engineers and I would open branches and buy your equipment on pennies on a dollar, and I will compete with you. Tried to open a branch and I couldn't because it was too tough, too hard. So I
The
thought,
market was really tough, yeah?
that getting into the computer business at that time when companies going bankrupt. I said, what else do I know beside the computers? Jewelry. I bought a store in Costa Mesa, and after that, during a few years, I opened about 5 stores. I enjoy doing jewelry. I know everything about it. I was doing everything in jewelry, but little bit by little bit, I moved into the estate and antique jewelry. It is more specialized. It is not available as commercial production, like a factory that make 1,000 pieces, give it to every store, then there's nothing extra.
Right.
When you get an estate piece or an antique piece, it is one of a kind. It's only one piece, and there is nothing look like it. And if it is restored and cleaned and original stuff, it's really good. Most of the customers are ladies.
Right.
Men is not the real customers. They
Right.
don't want to spend in jewelry. Women are. And if they find something that is really unique and not everywhere, every girl will have the same ring, then they want that. So I specialized in that. I had a store in Laguna Beach. I started with from a guy that used to be in the antique jewelry business for like 40 years. So I bought his store and I continued with it, but I got Orange here since 1997 and I have a nephew running it. Now I feel like I'm getting older and I want to be more specialized into the antique and estate jewelry, so I focused on this store here.
You've had many stores here in the United States, and you still have the one store in Egypt. Why don't you go back to Egypt and open more stores instead of staying here?
Because we don't have the availability of the merchandise that we have here in the States, and we go to trade shows that's international. People come into the trade show from all over the world. They have one in New York, they have one in Florida, one in Arizona, one in Vegas.
Right.
Sometimes they do it in LA also. And the size and the volume of the merchandise and the stuff that comes in from overseas is hundreds of times as much as we have here in the States. In Egypt, it is not an open market. And it is controlled under the government. Over there, it's no comparison. No.
It's better to do
We have
business
old
here.
stuff, we have nice stuff over there, but it's no comparison to what we see here. There is big market here. And why did I choose to make it here? Because it's going to be much better resources for me than being in Egypt and try to travel to Europe to find a piece or two. Here, we meet like 3, 4 times, 5 times a year, and everybody coming from different countries, and we can find what we need or what we want.
What's the most popular piece of jewelry you sell?
Mainly wedding rings,
Okay.
antique wedding rings,
Sure.
estate pieces, platinum or white gold in the old days. Edwardian, Victorian is a little bit different, and sometimes you find it in yellow gold, but starting from the 1900s, everything was in white gold or in platinum. And white gold and platinum is hard to work with, so those people that did that, they're not here anymore, and we just go and hunt for it, try to find it everywhere.
So what is old is new again.
We have to bring it to life. We have to polish, clean, make sure that the stone is set perfect. And when we find one that is in perfect condition, that is a higher price than one that, hey, we have to change the shank or solder something. No, I'd rather get one that's ready than doing work on another one. No.
Just out of curiosity,
Yes.
do you set your own stones?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. If it is missing a stone and I need to put a stone in, I have to find the old stone that will fit in here, exact size, exact same color like the others, and set it in.
But you don't farm it out.
It depends.
Okay.
If it needs somebody who's more professional than me, I will go and farm it out. Yeah. But if not, I could do it and then I will do it.
And if you're looking for a new house to go with that new estate jewelry that you're getting from Sammy, may I suggest you reach out to Mike Saba, a Zillow Premier agent with Watson Realty, born and raised and never left Bakersfield. Give Mike Saba a call at 661-203-8406 or reach him at mikesaba1@icloud.com today. And Visionaries, if you've got a question, you've got a thought, something you'd like to learn about here on Small Business Celebration, reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and your question could appear here on Small Business Celebration, just like David, who asked, the common advice is to avoid employing relatives, yet I'm struggling to find workers who share my enthusiasm for my business. What factors should I account when onboarding family members into my workforce?
Number one, and the most important one, is the passion for this kind of business, the love for the business, honesty. Number two,
Right.
have to be dedicated and not a quitter. Family-wise, yeah, they will accept, but if it is not their passion, it's not going to be a benefit to the business.
Right.
No. Try to avoid it if you can,
Right.
but it is better than getting somebody who doesn't know your business or you cannot tell him hey, this is our way of doing things.
Right. One of the things I've noticed is you have a lot of paintings here.
Yes.
At what point did you decide to get into the art business?
When I was 10 years old,
Really?
I went to Cairo from my hometown, Mehala,
Right?
and my mom was remodeling the place, and I wanted to get her some paintings and some frames and some pictures. So I started looking, but I only bought stuff that looks like classic, antique,
Right.
old pieces. And I got the frames separate, I put them together, and it came really good. So I put them in our living room. And since then, I love art. And when I came to the States, I started going to auction houses. And I have a lot of friends in the auction business. And I started buying and buying and buying. Then I started specializing on the higher end stuff, the nicer pieces.
Right?
You will find some stuff original here, a lot of them actually. And I like bronze sculptures.
Right.
I like statues, I like figurines, and I like all kinds of work in the art side. I love art since I was a kid,
Right.
not a baby, but a kid.
Right.
And till now, I've been buying and buying to the point that I don't have enough space to put them in. I put some from the other stores into storage units, but after 8 years or 9 years of paying for the storage unit, I figured out I would never get this money. I paid almost $150,000 if I sell every piece in the storage units.
Right.
4 of them, paying $450 for each. I said, no, stop. I let them go. And I don't want to look at them because I know I'm not going to say, oh, no, this is too dear to my heart. I have to keep it.
Right.
No, I let them go. But I have a lot. I love art. And I like old pieces. I like big names like Picasso.
Sure.
I have Nikita, Alexander and Chita. I have Chinese pieces, European pieces. I have all kinds. I love art. And bronze, I liked it more because when it's old and original, it doesn't break. It's not like porcelain or glass. Like I have a Tiffany vase on the top, the gold one.
Right.
The smallest one sold in eBay for $25,000. This is 3 times as big as the one it sold for $25,000.
Wow.
And I doubt if there is anybody that have one like it. No. And I put it away inside the case. This way nobody can touch it. There is a lot of nice pieces of art. And art is just like jewelry. It is a passion again, and it's valuable, it's assets. A lot of people invest in art.
Right.
And if you know about art, you know the painter, you know how much his stuff is, then you're buying something that is going to increase. It's not going to go down. Especially if it is not on paper. Paper could go wet, could go humid, but when it is oil and canvas and a famous name, it has big value.
And that brings us to the Visioneer game. And the way the game works is I have a random word generator here on my phone. I have no idea what the words it's going to generate are, but more importantly, neither does our guest. And our guest has to take one of 3 words that I give him and somehow associate it with his business. And this Visioneer game is brought to you by Scaffold Solutions Unlimited. Are you having to get to hard to reach areas for repairs, painting, stucco, remodeling, or any place where you need to keep your employees safe? Reach out to Scaffold Solutions Unlimited. Their experienced team provides top-level scaffolding solutions for all of your construction needs. Get safe, efficient, and cost-effective scaffolding today. Call them for a free quote at 661-374-4234 or reach them at their website at scaffold-unlimited.com today. Get the reliable scaffolding services you need. Call Scaffold Solutions Unlimited today at 661-374-4234 or at their website at scaffold-unlimited.com today. Now, Sammy, you do realize that the fate of the entire jewelry industry is based upon your ability to get these 3 words correct. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Trying.
Okay. Your first word is bill, as in a dollar bill.
I must pay my bills always on time.
There you go. Well
Okay.
done. All right. See, it's pretty simple, isn't it?
Easy, yeah.
Okay. Your second word is, oh, here we go, stone.
Stone. Stone is my passions. Stones on jewelry is one of the most important part of a piece of jewelry. It could be diamond, could be alexandrite, ruby, emerald. Stones are passion also. Colors, quality, clarity, transparency, things like that, very important in stone.
Very good. That's
Great.
2 for 2. Well done. Okay, and your third word is, are you ready? Carpet.
Carpet is a very important part in the Middle East. If you look at carpet as Persian carpet or Pakistani or made in Egypt or Turkish, those carpets are very expensive because it's made by hand. I have quite a collection of Persian carpet and it's very expensive. It's just like art. Each piece is a piece of art.
Sammy, that's 3 for 3. Well done. Congratulations. You've done it.
I'm a winner, huh?
And going through and having that passion and having that art and being able to pull it through, what is the single biggest thing that you have learned as the owner of a jewelry store?
I made a mistake one time that I learned a big lesson out of it.
Okay.
I was closing one night in Costa Mesa, and here's a guy walking in, and he doesn't look like my customers. He looks dirty, smelly, barefoot, torn clothes. His hair is unmanageable. His beard never been shaved or cut for like a year or two.
Right.
And he doesn't look right. So I just underestimated him. So I said, yes, how can I help you? And I didn't do my due diligence to evaluate right. I did not treat him right because I underestimated him. He's not gonna buy nothing.
Right.
That's my thoughts.
Right.
He walked in and said, oh, do you sell diamond? And I said, yeah, I do. What do you want? Show me something and come buy. So I showed him a very small stone. And he said, no, that's not good. I want something bigger.
Right.
So I said, God, okay. So I show him a bigger stone, but not a high quality. And he said, well, do you have a loop? I gave him a loop to look at it, and he looked at it. He said, do you have anything bigger than that and cleaner? I said,
So he could tell the difference.
So I said, sir, this is clean enough. No, I want something higher quality. So I said, okay, he's not gonna buy anyway, just show him. So I showed him, and I'm careful, I close the door, and I'm ready for any action. But he looked at it really carefully, and he said, how much is that? And I underestimated him. I said, he's never gonna buy, so tell him 3,000. The stone is 3 carat, and it's worth about 30,000, 40,000 at the time. So I said 3,000. And the guy says, can you go lower? So I laughed. I said, I can't. I want him out.
Right.
I can't smell his smell.
Right.
He smells really bad.
Right.
And I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to reduce a penny. He said, okay, calm me down. That's his answer. And he reached his pocket, got $3,000 out, and threw it in my face. And I said, oh God, no, it's not for sale. And he looked at me like this. Sir, we have an agreement. You said 3,000 and I paid you 3,000. That stone is mine. And he put it in his pocket. So I said, no, it's not for sale. Give me the stone back. And he said, I'm not going to give it to you. We have an agreement.
And I paid you.
And I paid you. That's a contract. Call the police if you want. I'm not going to give it to you. I said, you are in my store and the door is locked. He said, you're going to open the doors. And I said, no. He said, call the police. So I called the police. The police comes in, and he asked me the question, did you tell him 3,000? And I said, yes. I can't lie.
Right.
And he said, then the stone is his.
So you lost $27,000.
Learn my lesson the hard way. Never to underestimate a customer, no matter how he looks or how he's dressed. It's not the dress, and don't profile nobody. Respect everybody, even if he is way under your estimation.
And that brings us to our second Visioneer question, which is also brought to you by Mike Saba, a Zillow Premier agent with Watson Realty, selling Bakersfield homes since 1992. Give Mike Saba a call at 661-203-8406 or reach him at mikesaba1@icloud.com today. Visioneer Simon asks, we're growing our business through acquisitions that are similar to our own business. What are the key considerations when acquiring an already established retail outlet?
Does it have a cash flow? If it does have a cash flow, then it's going to make money the day you start.
Right.
And once I see something like that, after the expenses, after whatever I'm buying, and the overhead, if there is anything left and there is money to be made, that's a good potential. If it doesn't and it's losing money, we have to look at what kind of potential does it have?
Right.
Is it going to grow? Is it going to bring in? How's the location? Location is very important. If there is a walk-in traffic, that's a potential to bring more customers.
Right.
Advertisement. Do I spend a lot on advertisement or do I spend nothing? That also is a potential. What am I buying? Do they have a name? Do they have a history? How many years in business? This is all valuable stuff. And the phone number is most important part.
Why that?
Because all the customers in the past, they're gonna call that number and they're gonna bring him in, and that's potential customers coming back in. If we make money from day one, that business is good and we buy.
Tell me your favorite story of a piece of jewelry you sold.
I bought a 2-carat stone on a pendant. That is, the stone itself is 2-carat diamond, VVS 1, clean. The color was D color, highest color, and it's amazing. But there was something that I didn't like, that the stone itself, the 2-carat, is cut into a Christmas tree. It has the shape of a Christmas tree, like a little triangle with the little edges, and here's the bottom of the trunk of the tree. And I looked at it, I didn't like the pendant itself, so I said, I have to do something about it. It was a project for me, and I didn't know what to do with it till I thought about it for a couple of years. Then I started saying, okay, Christmas tree, I have to have some colors on it. So I put some emerald stones around the edges of the tree branches, and I did a frame for it, and I put it on platinum, and I waited and waited for it to sell. It only sold about last Christmas, and I did very good on it because the person that saw it fell in love with it and bought it on the spot for his wife that was with him. And I did not anticipate that they will buy it.
You came here from Egypt,
Yeah.
and you haven't gone back.
No, I visited a couple of times during 50 years.
Is the American dream dead?
Nope.
Why is that?
It is alive and well, and no matter where these people are coming from, they will start, and they will start with nothing, and they will end with a good family, good education, health, and all the stuff, the benefits that we taxpayers pay for the others to start is worth it because this country built on those, built on the others that come in and start their lives here and increase our economy and support it. The dream to be here, it's all over the world. It doesn't matter if they're rich in their country or poor. They all wanted to come here for the freedom that you guys have, and you don't feel it and you don't know that it is very important. There is a lot of oppression and discrimination in other countries that we don't see here. This country is great because it's opening their hands to everybody and helping everybody that comes in from overseas, from other countries. That you don't find even in small countries or countries in Africa or Asia. They don't give the citizenship to anybody, no. So the dream is still here, and it's going to continue to be here. And it's alive.
Sammy, this has been a real privilege. Thank you for joining us here on Small
Pleasure.
Business Celebration.
Thank you, my friend.
If Visionaries, our audience, wants to learn more about you and find you, how do they do that?
The easiest way is to call us by phone.
Okay.
It is 714-633-5000. And you can check our website, OC Diamond Estate Jewelry. You can check my Instagram, OC Diamond Estate Jewelry also. You can check TikTok. We are all over. You can Google us and you'll find everything about us.
Sure.
And you can find the whole history of us everywhere.
And where are we?
We are in the heart of the historic area of downtown city of Orange, and we are at 138 South Glassell. The name of the store is OC Diamond Estate Jewelry. You're welcome to come in and see yourself in our small or nice showroom here.
And after a short message from Planned Exits, we're going to talk about how to talk in terms of another person's interest when we come right back.
Thank you, Michael. As we approach the Thanksgiving holiday, I look forward to sitting around the table, enjoying a home-cooked meal with all the people that mean the most to me. And that begins with my wife and my 4 children and my 4 grandchildren. And I'm just so grateful for the many blessings in my life, and I'm thankful for my clients, I'm thankful for my peers, and all those that have supported me in my entrepreneurial journey. I want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving from Scott Garrison at Planned Exits.
How to talk in another person's interest. At the conclusion of this interview, producer Emily and I were driving back to Bakersfield, and as what often happens with a long drive, the conversation between the two of us quieted down, and my mind drifted off onto this very topic: how to talk in another person's interests. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the clock on the dash of my truck, and I noticed that this interview took more than 2 hours longer to record than most of our interviews do. And I began to reflect, why? And then it hit me. It was the B-roll. You see, we shoot a lot of extra footage, a lot of extra video for these interviews so that you as Visionaries get to see more of the guest business. And as you've seen, there's a lot to see with Sammy's business. And part of the conversation that Sammy and producer Emily were having was about the jewelry itself, the colors, the styles, what looks good on particular shapes of hands, different types of skin tones, different types of body structures. Whereas I was asking Sammy about the history, the design styles, the architecture of it all, and the people who designed it and people who wear it. And of course, Sammy was more than excited to give us all this information, plus a mountain load more. And that's the root of the whole thing. It's how to talk in another person's interests. What was interesting to producer Emily? What was interesting to Sammy? What was interesting to me? And that made for an extra 2 hours of conversation for this very episode. The ability to talk in another person's interest. I hope you enjoyed our conversation this week here on Small Business Celebration, and I hope you learned something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. And I'll see you here again next week when we celebrate another small business making a big breakthrough. What kind of jewelry do rabbits wear?
I've never seen a rabbit wearing jewelry, but it could be pearls
Or 14 karat gold?
or 18 karat gold.
Or 18, exactly, exactly. What do you call a fish who wears a diamond necklace?
That's a difficult one.
It's a fish that's fish-tastic.
Fantastic,
Or
yeah.
fantastic.
That's a good
Boo,
one.
boo.
Yeah,
Horrible.
all right.
Shall we start?
We can.
Okay, sounds good.